UN warns Somalia's displacement crisis engulfs the Horn. Hello and welcome. I am Samia Mohammed. Somalia is once again at the center of a worsening humanitarian emergency as relentless conflict and severe drought conditions force more than 110,000 people from their homes in recent weeks. The United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs issued a stark warning on Wednesday, revealing that the displacement crisis is accelerating amid renewed fighting in Puntland and ongoing clashes in the Shabelle regions, with 4.6 million Somalis projected to face acute hunger this year. The situation underscores a broader region catastrophe unfolding across the Horn of Africa, where climate shocks and instability continue to erode resilience. The latest wave of displacement stems from multiple fronts. In the northeastern state of Puntland, military operations and inter-clan violence have uprooted more than 70,000 people, including 10,000 from Godala district alone. Meanwhile, in the middle and lower Shabelle regions, terrorists contested by government forces and armed groups, over 30,000 villagers have fled after clashes between the Somali National Army and non-state militants. Many have sought refuge in Shabelle or the capital Mogadishu, where overcrowded settlements strain already limited resources. Al-Shabaab, the militant group waging a prolonged insurgency, remains a critical destabilizing force. Its persistent attacks in southern and central Somalia, including attempts to push toward Mogadishu, have heightened insecurity in contested districts like Adan Yabal and Kadale. The volatility has forced humanitarian organizations to suspend operations in high-risk zones, including the closure of 2 nutrition centers and all mobile health services in Adal Yabal. As access diminishes, needs multiply, leaving vulnerable population with dwindling options. Beyond the immediate trauma of violence, Somalia's humanitarian crisis is being compounded by environmental catastrophe. The failure of the 2024 dry rains and green forecasts for the 2025 goose seasons have left nearly 800,000 people in Puntland facing severe water and food shortages. The drought has triggered mass displacement not only of people but also livestock, the backbone of pastoralist livelihoods. In hard-to-reach areas like Zararadde, prolonged dry spells have decimated herds, pushing families into irreversible poverty. OCHA reports that water prices are skyrocketing, further straining households already on the brink. The convergence of conflict and drought has created a vicious cycle. Displacement disrupts farming and trade, while climate extremes deplete the resources needed for recovery. The result is rapidly expanding clash of internally displaced persons with no safety net. Somalia's suffering cannot be viewed in isolation. The Horn of Africa, a region perennially battered by political fragility and climate volatility, is witnessing a familiar pattern of cascading disasters. In Somalia, where governance remains fragmented and extremist groups exploit instability, the crisis is particularly acute. The international response, through critical, has been hampered by funding shortfalls and access barriers. Aid agencies are now scrambling to conduct rapid assessments to tailor interventions, but the scale of need outpaces available resource. The UN's warning that both conflict and climate shocks are dividing displacement highlights the urgent need for dual-track approach, immediate life-saving aid paired with long-term resilience building. The crisis in Somalia is a microcosm of the broader challenge facing the Horn of Africa, a region where climate change and the conflict intersect with devastating consequences. While emergency relief is essential to prevent mass starvation, sustainable solutions must address root causes: weak governance, environmental degradation, and economic despair. Without decisive action, displacement will continue to rise and millions will remain trapped in cycles of hunger and instability. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.